Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this absolutely beautiful 2021 Toyota Supra. This is a 3.0 model with the driver's assistance package. We do have a original build sheet on it. This had an MSRP originally of $57,135. It only has 1,590 miles at the time of making this video. You're probably thinking, what gives? Why would someone trade a vehicle like this in so soon? Well, it's might be surprising to some, but in the car business, especially when you're dealing with luxury cars or sports cars like this, sometimes people buy these things and they decide, well, you know, my lifestyle has changed, or this is really not what I wanted. It's too small, it's too cramped, I need something more practical. Sometimes people really get excited about a vehicle like this. Oh, I've already dreamed of having one, and then kind of when that wears off and they deal with living in the vehicle every day and driving it, you know, we'll keep it real. This is not the most practical daily driver, two-seater. You're limited in cargo space and stuff like that. So I don't know the final reason why the person ended up trading out of this thing so soon, but I can tell you there's nothing wrong with it. It happens a lot. People get tired of things, and people who can afford cars like this generally have bigger disposable income, so if they do decide they want to trade out of it, they can afford to do so and not worry as much about taking a financial hit versus someone who doesn't have a lot of money. So like I said, in the car business, this happens more than you think when you're dealing with, you know, sports cars like this, or just you know, more high-end vehicles. So this is a local one-owner clean Carfax vehicle. It's pretty much in near new condition inside and out, hardly a mark on it. Driver's assistance package, so it's almost as fully loaded. I think they had a special edition for 21 that had some other features, but aside from that, from the standard 3.0 Supra, I'm pretty sure this is as loaded as you can get with the driver's assistance package. You have a blind spot warning, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control. This one has a heads-up display. It has a great sounding JBL audio system. Nice big screen here for the navigation and parking camera. Power and heated front seats, beautiful leather interior, nice contrast stitching, carbon trim, and this looks like it's real carbon fiber. It's not the imitation stuff. The Supra is an amazing vehicle. It's one of the widest track, shortest wheelbase vehicles you can buy, and it has amazing performance numbers. The 2020 Supra, which made a little less horsepower, I think Car and Driver said they got one to do 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. The good news for 2021 is Toyota upped the horsepower pretty significantly. It went from 335 horsepower, which they had in 2020, which was the first year of the redesigned Supra, and in 21 they upped the horsepower to 382 horsepower, so that's almost a 50 horsepower increase. So I'm sure that'll shave a little bit more time off that 3.7 second 0 to 60. The new Toyota Supra is largely based on the BMW Z4 platform, and people might be wondering what gives. Why would Toyota, a huge manufacturer that has tons of money, why would they turn to BMW to base their new Supra off of? Well, for a lot of reasons. It costs a lot of money to develop a vehicle from the ground up, and BMW has amazing experience building small performance automobiles, and Toyota wanted to have an inline 6-cylinder engine because the famous, I think it was the 4th generation Supra of the 90s, and we saw in Fast and Furious, that generation, which they made from, I think it was 93 to 98, that had a 320 horsepower inline 6, which was a legendary engine. I think it's called the 2JZ. You hear people do 2JZ swaps. Amazing engine. I mean, it could take amazing amounts of power upgrades. It was really a strong engine block. People could up the power to 800, 1,000 horsepower. But also that engine was really heavy from what I heard too. Toyota doesn't make inline 6 engines. Really, the only people that do still make inline 6-cylinder engines, and amazing ones at it, is BMW. So I think that's one reason why Toyota wanted to use the BMW Z4 platform, is because they thought it was kind of non-negotiable that the Supra must have a turbocharged inline 6, and so it does, and it's an amazing engine. And let's also look at Toyota's sports car history. Really, the last sports car that they had that really made indie press was the Scion FRS, which later became the Toyota 86 when Scion went away. but that was co-developed with Subaru, so you know, the BRZ, so that has a lot of Subaru components. So really Toyota didn't develop that one. So if we really think about it, the last really true performance car Toyota had, at least in the United States, was the 4th generation Supra, which was like 22 years ago. So, you know, maybe Toyota could have built a vehicle from the ground up, and it might not have been as good as basing it off the Z4, you know. So I think that's the long and short of it. And it's not just a rebadged Z4. It has a lot of its own personality. I've driven plenty of Z4s, and this has its own personality, its own styling. And it is very, very fun to drive. It is loud, it is fun, it can scare you a little bit, but it has electronic nannies to help keep things relatively sane. Obviously, it can't overcome stupidity or the laws of physics. So you have a drive mode selector. It's pretty easy. You have sport and standard mode. It will change the gauge cluster a little bit when you put it in sport mode. And you can also hear the exhaust kind of open up too. There's standard mode. We'll put it in sport mode. And the exhaust kind of livens up a little bit, snaps, crackles, and pops a little bit more. Really nice, comfortable interior, very supportive seats. It's a smaller vehicle, but I'm 6'2". I fit pretty comfortably in it. My head's not hitting the top of the ceiling. Decent amount of trunk space for a small car. You have a cargo area cover, and of course you can remove this or just fold it that way for more cargo space. Obviously not a ton, but it's a decent amount for maybe a long weekend with your significant other. Nice wide track, really curvaceous body. This creases and curves wherever you look. Definitely you can tell the styling on the outside is inspired by the 4th generation Supra from the 90s. And unlike the Z4, this Supra is only available with a hardtop, where the Z4 is a retractable hardtop convertible. Oh, I gotta give one more pull on that hood release. BMW makes it you pull it twice to open it all the way. And there's that fantastic inline 6. 382 horsepower, hooked up to a 8-speed automatic transmission. It has steering wheel paddle shifters, so if you use the paddle shifters, it works great, or the car does a great job shifting on its own. I'm a manual transmission enthusiast, so I'm a little bit sad that they didn't offer this with a manual. Maybe one will come eventually, but honestly the 8-speed automatic is so good, it probably will offer better performance and better fuel economy than a 6-speed manual. We have a very big pre-owned business. We can get this thing, we can get this Supra shipped just about anywhere in the country. Contact us for more details. If you're a little bit closer, we can put this thing in a transport truck. We have a car hauler. We can get it towed to you, so all the paperwork and stuff, that can be done online and over the phone. So we can bring it right to your house. Right now we have complimentary shipping at no additional charge up to 250 miles. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful